All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Google Plus Baseball Championship Preview Hangout. I'm Jared Hager in the America East office, and with me tonight is Brian Geary. Brian will be doing color on all the games this weekend, which will be on AmericaEast.tv for free. Brian, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, Jared. I'm really looking forward to getting back for another year. It was a blast last year. Maybe we won't have as much rain this year. Who knows?
That would be fantastic. I know that I think everyone's hoping for that this year. Great facility here at Little Asher Park. I'm in the press box right now. We'll have each of the four teams come up here, 3 members from each team. Will be joining us. You can see the empty screen right now with the America East backdrop, but they'll be jumping in there. For now, until we are joined by the Hartford Hawks, which will be the first team on. Brian, let's talk a little bit about the tournament, and we got the #1 seed, Stony Brook Seawolves, coming in, third time in 4 years to the Seawolves. They'll be entering as the #1 seed.
Yeah, and it's funny because, and I do want to ask them about this as well, but it's a little bit different group this time. Those first 2 of the 3, a lot of that group that made that run to Omaha, and last year a little bit of a transition year for them, but they're right back on top this year.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had some contributions from all over the place. Cameron Stone, a freshman, has been fantastic, and very deep pitching staff. Manderka, McNitt have been solid all year, as long as they've been on the mound.
They really have kind of a nice blend of the youth, that's really coming into its own from last year, and the additions that you're talking about, and those holdover guys that have been there for so long and have so much experience.
And then, of course, we got the #2 seed, Hartford Hawks, and everyone knows about Shaun Newcomb, but this team is second in the conference. They've got 30 wins, so Shaun Newcomb, obviously a fantastic pitcher and the best prospect probably in the conference, but they have a lot more than that, and I know that they're excited to be here. First time since '96 they've been in the championship.
Yeah, it's really incredible what Coach Blood has done there, and I know he came in a few years ago and made some changes, and the direction of that program is incredible, and they have a fantastic pitching staff, so it should be that kind of depth obviously is something that's really valuable in a tournament like this.
Then we got the #3 seed, the Binghamton Bearcats. They are the defending champions, coming as a 3 seed this year. A little bit different situation for the Bearcats. They've been kind of up and down, but again, just a great offense, just as they had last year.
Yeah, and a team that's really been a model of consistency in the conference, 8 straight years in this tournament. So, new and old, they bring it together. The staff does a great job in Binghamton, and they've got some of the keystones from the pitching staff last year, but as you said, a really good offense. So, just should be a really interesting team to watch this week.
Absolutely. And it looks like we got the Hartford Hawks joining us right now. From the Hartford Hawks, we have Ryan Lukach, Brian Hunter, and James Alfonso. Guys, thanks for taking some time out from your dinner. I know you had to put down your food to be here with us, so thanks for that.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
We got Brian Geary on as well. Brian's doing color on the games this weekend.
Good to see
you guys. Good to see you. So a second year in a row, they kind of took the food from you. We had that last year, right in the middle of the barbecue. They kind of said, "No, you guys are out." So we'll get right to some stuff here and get you guys back down with the plate before you know it. But we were just talking about this a little bit. What a really phenomenal season you guys have had. First 30-win season in program history, back to the tournament for the first time since '96. Just talk to me a little bit about what you guys have done this year and why you think everything has really come together.
Well, first of all, it's pretty cool for all of us, since all 3 of us are seniors, and we were on the 6-win team. That was our freshman year, so it's come a long way since that. But it's just we've been consistent. Our coaches, pitching and defense, just Joe pitchers you. That's what's almost carried us a little bit. But just staying consistent, not getting too high, not getting too low, and that's kind of gotten us where we're at. These guys want to add something.
I think the biggest thing is learning how to win. We had the same core of guys last year, but we had a lot of young guys, and I think the biggest difference from last year this year is learning how to compete in those tight games and coming out on top instead of losing the 1 or 2 run games.
Absolutely, and is that something that Coach Blood really brought with him when he took the reins, that kind of mentality?
Yeah, I think so. Especially this year, early on, we played in a lot of 1-2 run games, and we've come out on top a lot. So I think Coach Blood definitely instilled that early on, that to keep fighting and never give in if it's down a run or two, keep battling. And this week we're probably going to be in a few close games, so that's definitely going to be in our advantage.
Definitely. Bryan, 7 complete games this year. You in particular, and the pitching staff as a whole, has done a great job. Talk to me a little bit about, I know in this era of baseball we hear stuff about pitch counts and all that all the time. With you guys, is it a pitch count thing, or is it more of a, my arm feels good today, so I'm going to take it the whole way?
I think it's a little bit of both. Coach isn't going to go out there and blow us out with 130 pitches. He's going to be smart as far as that goes, but it is kind of a feel thing. He kind of goes off what he sees more so than us, because I speak for myself and pretty much I think anyone on the staff. Whenever they call us to come inside, whenever the inning's over, they'll say, how you feel. We're always going to say we're good. We're always going to say we want to go one more, finish the game. So it's more so what he sees. He sees us getting up in the zone or starting to look a little tired. I'm sure he'll think about making a change, more so based on how we say we feel.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're never going to say I want out.
I'm not going to say, Coach, take me out because I don't feel good. But.
And James, as the catcher and somebody who's handled this staff, from start to finish this year, do you take a lot of pride in the way that these guys have thrown the ball?
Yeah, absolutely. I think early on we had a few struggles, and guys like Bryan, Shaun are a big 1-2 punch. They've done a great job this year, and our bullpen, they've been huge for us. So to catch those guys, and it's been a lot of fun to see them shut down some good lineups.
Yeah. Shaun's had an okay year, I guess, right? It must be pretty fun to watch, kind of the way he's transformed since he walked in.
Yeah, it is. To see from freshman year to see him more as a thrower to develop into a pitcher with all of his pitches now really developing his off speed. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely. And Ryan, you lead this team in RBI. Talk to us a little bit about Hartford's, just offensive philosophy in general, but then you particularly, what your mindset is and what you're really focusing in on when you get in those, runners in scoring position situations.
As a whole, we haven't been too great scoring runs. Coach has always preached pitching, defense, and doing the little things. When we're in practice, for example, we've been working on sacks, getting guys over, doing the right thing in each position, kind of knowing your role. And that's the type of approach we're gonna have throughout this tournament to be able to be successful. Me personally, Dave McKinnon's kind of been a surprise for us as a freshman coming in. We didn't have him in the fall, and he when he got put in that 3-hole, he was swinging it pretty well. So it gave me and James a better shot to drive some guys in and put ourselves in better situations early on. So that kind of credits. He should take a lot of the credit of some of the RBIs I've gotten out of the 4-hole. He gets on a lot. But as a whole, we got to be a small ball team that just does things right.
Now, has David given you guys any soccer tips during the baseball season?
No, we kind of just talk smack with him, saying we could be a better goalie than him. It's not that hard, but he's a good kid, and it's pretty impressive what he's doing after missing a whole fall.
I got one more question for you guys before we let you go, and this one's coming off Twitter, and they want to know if you guys have any superstitions in pregame.
You guys do that. You guys do a little hitter gather around in circle. Kind of do that.
The hitters, we try to keep it light a little bit. So after 10 minutes before the game starts, we go to do our run, and we always get in a circle, and we either, just joke around or we try to keep it light. We don't have any exact superstitions that I could really think of. Nothing yet.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate the time. We'll let you get back to the food, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that was the Hartford Hawks with us, and next coming in will be the Maine Black Bears team. We haven't had a chance to talk about yet, Bryan, but Black Bears are here just about every year and have been very consistent in the conference throughout their time in the America East.
Yeah, no, you talk about tradition and consistency in the America East, and really, college baseball in this region, and Maine is one of the first teams that comes to mind. So, obviously the #1 seed last year, and here they come now.
How's it going?
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. I'm Jared Hager with the America East. We got Brian Geary with us, who's going to be doing the color on the games this weekend.
Hey guys, thanks.
Yeah, and from Maine, we got Tommy Lawrence, Troy Black, and Colin Gay. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, it's good to be here.
So we're just talking about Maine and the tradition that you guys have and the consistency that you guys bring year in, year out. So this is your your 5th straight America East championship. You guys came in as the 1 seed last year, on the other side of it this year, but still facing Stony Brook in that first round. So you guys take anything from that matchup last year, or are you just really focusing on the here and now?
Well, we just kind of looking back to last year, we came in as the number 1 seed. We're the number 4 seed this year, and you saw what Binghamton was able to do with that. So we're kind of just looking at this as no pressure going in here. And we faced Stony Brook. Tommy started that game. We took that game 3-0. So we're feeling pretty confident about this game against them.
Absolutely. And Tommy, you had a great game against Stony Brook in the regular season again this year too. So talk to us a little bit about the game plan that you've employed against them, and are you feeling pretty good about that again?
Yeah, definitely, working my fastball in and just relying on my defense. Our infield's been playing really well lately. Troy Black at short, Luke Morrill at third, playing really good defense, and hopefully we keep swinging it.
Absolutely. And back to, the kind of the 1 seed, 4 seed thing, is it any different for you guys being the 4 seed, or is it really just once you get here, it's last man standing?
Honestly, I think as you see from years past and stuff, for the 1 seed to win it, the 1 seed doesn't always win it. Anything can happen when you get in. So once you get in, honestly, the mentality is the same as the 1 seed, the 4 seed, the 2 seed, the 3 seed, whatever you are. You're just trying to do whatever you can to win the games.
Absolutely. And Colin and Troy, you guys both top 10 in the conference in batting average this year. Great senior years. Talk to me a little bit about just your 4-year careers up in Orono in general, and then what's made this year kind of come together for both of you.
It's been a great 4 years, like you said, making the tournament those 3 years, winning it, and going to the Chapel Hill Regional in 2011. There's a brotherhood among us, seniors and the rest of the team, and it's going to be great to make some memories here. So we're looking at this as kind of our last shot, the America East title, and going to give it all.
Yeah, I know. We're just trying to look to wrap up our career. We both had pretty successful careers here. We're pretty happy about that. We're just trying to work as hard as we can to wrap up this one on a good note.
Absolutely. And Troy, you slid over to shortstop this year after playing second base. Now, I'm sure you played shortstop coming up. Was that a transition for you, a difficult transition, or is it kind of you view them both as kind of interchangeable?
I'd be lying if I said it was just interchangeable. It was a challenge at first, and it still is a little bit. Just becoming more comfortable over there. The throw is a longer throw. You have to be quicker. There's a lot less room for error too. But I just go out there and try to do whatever I can to help the team. Sometimes I'm going to make an error here or there, something like that, just because I'm not as comfortable as I am over at second. But I don't think about that. I just try to do whatever I can to help the team win.
Absolutely. And Tommy, we know that pitching is so important in this tournament, and we've already talked about your great start here last year. What are you telling the rest of the pitching staff in terms of how to prepare and how to get ready for this, for this short span of games that you guys are about to play?
I think that's what our Achilles heel was last year. We didn't really have much pitching going into the tournament since me, AJ, and Conley ate up a lot of innings, and not many young guys threw. This year we got Charlie Butler throwing, Shaun Coughlin, Linus, Scott. We got a lot more guys, a lot more depth this year. So, just going in there, throwing strikes, getting a lot of ground ball outs, and letting our defense do the work.
Absolutely. And I got to ask you guys this. Am I the only one who thinks Coach Trimper looks almost exactly like Joe Girardi? Am I alone in that one?
That was the first thing. I remember when I came on my recruiting visit freshman year, that's the first thing after my dad and we met with Coach Trimper. That's the first thing we said to each other when he left is that guy looks a lot like Girardi from the Yankees. So, yeah, you're not the only person who notices.
All right, good to know I'm not alone. I think he's got some of that fire that Joe shows from time to time, too.
Might have more, actually.
I'm sure you guys have seen Coach Trimper get fired up more than a time or two.
We got one question off Twitter for you guys, and it's actually directly for Tommy. And Doug Powers wants to know what's up with the facial hair you're growing.
We're trying to do the old Boston thing. what they did last year. You know, everyone's grinding out their beards, mustaches. Troy looks like Picasso over there right now, so he's going pretty well.
That's great. And then I got one more. Clark P. Thompson off Twitter wants to know, how do you guys relax before games? Are there any routines you guys go through?
I don't know. I just try to sleep as much as I can in the hotels and stuff, whether it be wherever we are, we're home, or in the hotels. I just try to get as much sleep as I can, then wake up and go get it.
Yeah, it's about the same for me. I don't know if it's different for Tommy.
I get a little worked up before the games, you know, but I try to stay relaxed. But during game time, I focus in pretty hard and say that.
Clear the mechanism, right?
All right, thanks a lot, guys, for joining us. We really appreciate it. We'll let you get back to the barbecue and have some good food tonight, and good luck this weekend.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that was the Maine Black Bears of the 4 seed. They'll take on Stony Brook tomorrow in the first game of the tournament at 2 p.m. We'll have Stony Brook a little bit later. Next coming up is going to be the Binghamton Bearcats. We'll wait for them to arrive here. We talked a little bit about them before. We're going to have with us, it's going to be Shaun McGraw, Jack Rogalla, and Bill Bereszniewicz. And Billy's been kind of the guy that's paced that offense so far this year. But it's really been a great offense, as we talked about before, Bryan. And Jordan, Jake Thomas is back in there and having another great season. So, I think they'll be a team that's another strong suitor for this team.
Yeah, certainly a lot of weapons in that lineup. It's not an easy one to navigate through.
Absolutely. And joining us now, we have the Binghamton Bearcats, just talking a little bit about you guys. And with us, as we were just talking about, we got Shaun McGraw, Jack Rogalla, and Bill Bereszniewicz. Thanks, guys, for taking some time out of the barbecue.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And with us, we also have Brian Geary. He'll be doing the color on the games today, this weekend.
Hey, guys, good to see you.
How's it going? How are you?
Good, good. So Jared and I were kind of talking about this extended run of consistency that Binghamton has had as a program, 8 straight years in this tournament. Is that something you guys as a program talk about and really take a lot of pride in?
I think a lot of it is due to the coaching we have. Coach Zanicki, Ryan Herba, Dustin Johnson, and Coach Foley, they're all great guys. They all, teach us the right way to play. And I feel like, every year we put a team out there that works hard and will play for each other. And I think that goes a long way in terms of trying to make the tournament every year.
Absolutely, and this is an experienced group too, and a group that is coming off of a championship as well. And I remember last year, before this all got started, watching the Google Plus Hangout, and Shaun, your teammates were talking about you as a guy that they really look to for leadership when things get tough. So talk about your role as a leader on this team and what you're telling everybody as you guys prepare to try and repeat.
I mean, the main thing is, like Bill said, you just go out and play for each other. We got great pitching, we got a good lineup and experienced guys, and the young guys that do come in, we want to teach them the right way to play Binghamton baseball. And as far as my role, I like to lead by example. If I ground out, I'm running to first. If I fly out, I'm trying to get to 2 before they catch it. Some just simple stuff like that. I'll speak up when I need to, but for the most part, I like to just play the game the right way and let that be the example.
Absolutely. And looking back a little bit on last year's tournament, Jack, you had a great start in that tournament, and the pitching depth in general that you guys had was so valuable in getting you through that weekend. So what are you remembering from last year, and what are you trying to instill in the rest of the staff?
Well, I know, especially this year, we're not that deep in the starting department, so especially me and Kreitz, we really have to eat up innings, and for me, game 1 especially, and then if you get to game 2, we need Kreitz to eat up a lot of innings. So we're not that deep, but we'll find a way. We'll find a way to piece it together as we go.
Yeah, and Kreitz Beard can probably eat up a few innings along the way too, right?
Exactly.
Bill, leading the conference in hitting, a really great year for you. What's really been key for you? What's been working?
I don't think anything's necessarily been a key for me. I've tried to get better every year I've been at Binghamton. And again, I think it's a testament to the coaching staff we have at Binghamton. Coach Ryan Herba has worked with me a lot and all the hitters in the team. I think that's a lot of the reason why you saw Jake Thomas have such a great year last year. Coach Herba works very hard with all the hitters, and he really cares about all of us individually. And I think that's a testament to him and the work he puts in with us each and every day that goes unseen by a lot of the outside public watching us.
And Jake, you mentioned Jake Thomas. He's been hitting for a little bit more power this year. Have you noticed a difference in his approach?
I wouldn't say there's too much difference in his approach. He had the same power in him last year. I think it's just coming out now. He's definitely a great player. I think he has a lot more years of baseball ahead of him. And, he's just, again, it's something that we've seen him practice. We see him put 10, 12, 15 balls over the fence, but it doesn't necessarily happen in the games. But as you can see this year, it's starting to come through, and I expect him to keep playing the way he is.
Absolutely. And, looking ahead a little bit to the matchup this week, you guys split with Hartford this year. They're obviously having a fantastic year. Are you guys, are you making any adjustments, looking forward to the matchup this year? What's kind of the game plan there?
I'd say the game plan is go out and try and put more runs on the board than them. Shaun Newcomb is a great pitcher. Everybody knows that. His numbers don't lie. So we're going to do whatever it takes, it's tough to game plan against a first rounder. So it's going to be a battle, but we're ready for it. It's going to be a fun ball game to watch. I can guarantee you that.
From a pitching standpoint, just try and get ahead of these guys and don't let anyone cross the plate. 'Cause you never know how many you're going to be able to get against them. So.
Absolutely.
We got a question off Twitter for you guys, and people want to know if you guys have any superstitions in pregame.
I have about 1 million. Nothing specific, but let's see. I know every time I step on the rubber, I have to kick the dirt a certain way. The warm-ups, if I don't do my dynamic stretching the same way, I have to go back and start over. So I got a whole bunch I could talk about all day, but
I don't say I have too many. I think one that I've had lately that I picked up the last 3-4 weeks is I take my Binghamton ID card, and I left it in my back pocket one of the games, and I played well and we won the game, and I always take my ID card back with me for every game since then, and it's worked out for our team, and I'm going to continue doing it this tournament. So
I wouldn't say it's a superstition, but for pregame taking batting practice, I DH'd most of the year last year, and I can't stand hitting in cleats. That's about it for me.
All right. Hey, thanks, guys, for taking the time out of the barbecue. We'll let you get back to the food, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
That was the Binghamton Bearcats, and we'll finish off the Google Plus Hangout with the number 1 seed, Stony Brook Seawolves. They'll be in just a second, but Bryan, they'll be the ones everyone's gunning for this year, and they've been at the top of the conference before.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a position that this program's really gotten used to under Matt Sank is being the one that everybody's given their best shot to. And you could see last year when they were in that little transitional phase that people were still not counting them out. This is a team that everyone always gives their best shot to, no matter what.
Absolutely. After the College World Series run, I think that kind of put them on the map, and we got them joining us right now. We got
What's going on?
Hey. Josh Berry, Bryan Tatelman, Anthony Italiano. Thanks for joining us today. T&B production. Anthony, can you handle being in between a couple of stars in there?
I don't know. These guys are big personalities. I'm gonna try to keep up.
All right, thanks for joining us. We got Brian Geary here with us as well, and he's been doing color on the games this weekend.
I think Josh and Bryan both are probably going to take my job, though, if watching their videos gives me any indication.
Thank you.
Bryan, we just gave you a follow on Twitter.
I saw that. I thought I hit you back.
We're following.
I appreciate that, fellas. All right, so we'll talk about the show at some point here, but let's talk about some baseball first. You guys, conference regular season champs, 3 out of 4 years. Last year, a little bit of a different story, kind of more youth, more inexperience on the team. What's been the biggest difference this year to get you guys back at that #1 seed?
Well, yeah, like you said, last year, we were really young. We had a bunch of injuries, but now, there's 7 seniors, so there's a whole lot of leadership this year. You know what I mean? So, and those guys that were in big freshman roles, they're now sophomores. So, it's a lot more like showing the ropes and like the leaders taking control and the freshmen just falling into place.
Absolutely, and you guys, obviously there are still some pieces to that team that made that run to Omaha. Is that something you guys still talk about, or do you just try to focus on what you're trying to do every single day?
I think it's like we talk about Omaha, but at the same time, it's a couple years ago, so we can't really focus on that. It's got to be what's now, So.
Absolutely, and facing Maine in the first round again this year, I think that's 3 years in a row for you guys facing Maine in the first round. A little bit of a rivalry there. I think both of these programs have been so good. Do you guys take anything away from the matchups, in previous championships?
I guess we go into every game, with the same approach. I guess with the College World Series run, we've all experienced, big time moments, big time players, big time pitchers. So, this year more than others is, stacked up with some really good, competitive pitching with Tommy Lawrence and Newcomb and Rogalla at Binghamton. But, we've seen Lawrence, numerous times now, and, we'd be wasting our time, trying to, I guess, fluster ourselves over it. We just got to go into, like, it's another weekend, another series, and, just do what we do best.
You guys did the sports science on Newcomb already, so you got it down.
You do the sports science.
I was gonna say, can we expect one on?
Yeah, he was covering it.
Can we expect one on Lawrence before game 1?
You know what? We were supposed to get an interview with him after he threw against us back at Stony Brook, but that didn't happen. Maybe here he kind of stood us up. I don't know. So.
All right. Do you guys get feedback from other players around the conference about the show? Do you guys talk about that at all?
Oh yeah. Pretty much every place we go. Bryan's initial, he wanted people around the conference to point at us every time we would show up and say, "Those are the 2 guys. Yeah, those are the 2 guys right there." And I have to say we have kind of accomplished that. So.
Yeah. So what we tried to do was with UMBC, we tied in one of their guys, so it was, we're showing our different...
People helping people.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff, gentlemen.
Yes.
Anthony, we've talked a little bit about this pitching staff and what a great job it's done this year, and you are obviously very familiar with them. You spend a lot of time working with the pitchers. Do you take a lot of pride in what these guys do, and what kind of role do you think you have in that success?
Oh yeah, defense is something I've always, pride myself on, and I got 2 pitchers, to my right and my left here, and the relationships I have with the pitching staff, it goes a long way. It's something about like relationships on the field and off the field that really, make a pitching staff and the pitcher-catcher relationship. Like what I go out to say to Bryan is going to be different than when I go out to say to Josh. Like you got to know personalities, you got to know what drives people, what pushes people, how to get people back on target. So
yeah,
it's something I really value.
Absolutely. Jared, do you have something or?
Yeah, I got a Twitter question. They want to know if you guys have any superstitions before games.
make sure everyone comes with all their gear and make sure no one forgets anything. No, I think we actually were prepared for this question, and you can take it away before the game.
Yeah, well, we basically, if we do something and something works, we're just going to keep doing that, I guess. So, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movie Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes.
You ever seen the scene, like the very beginning with Matthew McConaughey? And they do this thing like, oh, 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 oh. We do that after every
I'm not in the fix.
infield, outfield. Brian's not.
That's why I didn't do it right there.
Josh helps us with handing balls to the Coach Panucci. So we do that after every infield, outfield, and I'll say a little something, or Josh will say a little something, get the guys fired up. So.
All right, awesome. Hey, thanks, guys, for taking the time. I'll let you get back to the cookout. But, hey, great job with the show. We hope to see a little bit more of that, and really like the fact you guys are tying some other players in the conference in. And I honestly think it's a great thing for the America East and for America East baseball.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Sounds good. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right, Brian, that wraps it up for us tonight. We got all 4 teams in here. We appreciate you taking the time, and should be a great tournament.
Absolutely, my pleasure, and I can't wait to get first pitch.
All right, and for everybody watching out there, games start tomorrow. That's Thursday, 2 p.m. on AmericaEast.tv. It'll be a doubleheader. We start with number 1 Stony Brook and number 4 Maine, followed by number 2 Hartford and number 3 Binghamton. So thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks again, Brian. We'll see you at Little Asher tomorrow.